Hello, my name is Lauren and welcome to today's video. So in today's video, I want to just introduce all of my favorite, most common alternate fingerings that I like to use when I play the flute. So yeah, I'm just going to go over the most common ones, the ones I use on a fairly regular basis, I feel. So starting from the low register and working up. So we'll get into it. So the low A in the staff, I also like to use this on the low B flat and B. Sometimes I put my pinky down in addition to the A. So A is left hand 1, 2 thumb, and I'll add the pinky. This can raise the pitch a little bit if the notes are flat, and especially on the B in the staff, which can have a tendency to be flat as well. B flat can also have the tendency to be B flat. So yeah, the A, B flat, B, and you might not even notice that big of a difference, but it's something I like to do. I feel like it helps a little bit and it doesn't take away from the tone quality of the note. If anything, I feel like it even opens it up a little bit. So that's one I like to use. The C sharp in the staff has a huge tendency to sound shrill in most cases. There's no fingers on the flute in the regular fingering, it's just the pinky. So it has a tendency to sound very shrill if you're not aware of that tendency. So every time we play C sharp in the staff, it's just something that I don't even have to remind myself anymore. I just play that note in a different way. So normally, if you're not thinking and you're just kind of playing, C sharp could sound a little bit shrill. Just then I was playing, and I have a tuner right here today, and it was very sharp. It's like almost a D. So I do things in my mouth with my air, maybe warm, slow air, bigger space inside the mouth, and I play it that way. But in addition, I also like to use an alternate fingering. I don't really feel like it's required, but I like the way it sounds. And when I play fast passages, I should say, I don't use an alternate fingering for C sharp. I'm not using an alternate fingering, I'm just using the regular one. But if I'm holding a C sharp for any amount of time, I use this fingering. So I use my left hand third finger and my right hand second, third pinky. And that's it. And I'll play a C sharp first, just without any different fingering, but more in tune. Gotta think like low, rich, kind of resonant on that sound, on that note. Now I'm using the alternate fingering. So it doesn't actually change the pitch all that much, but I do like the tone quality of it, and I like to play around. Well, actually, I use that one quite a lot. That's probably my most common used alternate fingering, is that one right there. And I actually did, I got that fingering from Marianne Gadikian, and so I've been using it for many years, I guess, past 10 years now. I've been using that fingering for C sharp whenever I hold it out. If I'm playing fast, I don't really mess with any alternate fingerings. I just use the regular one. Okay, and then the next one is high F sharp. So there's 3 different fingerings I use for high F sharp, and I use all of them. So the regular one is one I use, which is 1, 3, thumb on B natural key, very important. Not this one, but the B natural key. 1, 3, B natural on the left hand, and 3, pinky on the right hand. And this is the regular one. So I use the regular one, but I also like to use the second finger and the C sharp key. So switch to the second finger only on the right hand, and instead of the E flat key, the C sharp key. I feel like it's the same pitch center. It doesn't really make it flatter or sharper, but it sounds easier and more ringy. It's not as likely to crack as I feel the regular fingering can have that tendency. So regular fingering. And then the other one that I just introduced. I feel like it's sweeter, ringier with the C sharp key and the second finger. So I really like that one if I have time to do it. Sometimes it's really hard to get over the C sharp key, so I just use the regular one. And then the other fingering is just keep the thumb on the pinky on the E flat key and the second finger down. And this one does lower the pitch, which might actually be a good thing since this does have a tendency to be a sharp note. So you can work with it. It may be too flat on your flute, maybe. But yeah, I do use this one sometimes as well. Quite a bit flatter, and actually for me it's more in tune, but anyway, that's one you can experiment with. And then the high A flat. The high A flat is normally left hand, 2, 3, pinky, no thumb, no first finger, and right hand pinky. And yeah, so that one tends to be sharp, but I do like the tone quality of it even though it's sharp. So a common alternate fingering that it's very common one is putting the second and third finger down on the right hand. And this helps lower the pitch, and it doesn't affect the tone color too much, but I tend to kind of like the tone color of the regular fingering. So I'll play the regular way. Okay. Which is sharp. And it does lower the pitch a little bit if I add those 2 fingers, and it actually sounds pretty good too. So I mean, I kind of like that one, and I do use it, and it's just something you can kind of evaluate in your own playing, evaluate in your own music that you're working on your instrument, what works for you. So, but definitely one I like to use. And then the last one I'll introduce is the high B. This one I really love. So the high B regular fingering is left hand 1, 3, thumb, right hand, second trill key, third finger. And the fingering I like to use for various things is like move the third finger over to the D key, second finger on second trill key, and the first finger on the key right next to it, and then the pinky here on the E. They're all kind of clustered together if you have time to do that. But it's good for soft playing. The tone quality is better and it's more in tune. It's not so sharp. So I'll play the high B regular fingering. Which is quite sharp. And then this fingering that I just talked about. Which is right on the money. if I'm tuning to 440, which I am right now. So it's right on the money, it's right on the green, and I'm not really trying, and I can play much softer with this fingering. Can actually get it to sound pretty soft. And you know, if you're bringing the lips forward, making the aperture smaller, it's not going flat, it's just staying in tune, which is very hard to do on the regular B. I'll try to do the same thing on the regular fingering. It's a little more air in it, whereas the other one is more pure when I'm going into pianissimo, and the other one is like really in tune, whereas the regular one tends to be more sharp. So I really love that B fingering in certain cases, and if I have time to use that one, I really like it. So these are my most common alternate fingerings that I like to use on the flute. And yeah, to change a little bit of the tone color sometimes, and also play around with the pitch if I find that to be helpful. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you found some of these fingerings interesting and maybe will be helpful in your own playing and practice. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe below for more tutorial videos like this one. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.